Once you stop fighting yourself, everything becomes clear. There comes a quiet moment in a man's life when he finally understands something painful and honest. The enemy was never the world. The enemy was never other people. The enemy was never bad luck. The enemy was the constant fight inside his own mind. A fight between who he knows he should be and who he allows himself to be. And as long as that inner war continues, nothing feels clear. Life feels heavy. Decisions feel confusing. Energy feels low. Purpose feels distant. But the moment you stop fighting yourself, everything becomes clear. Not easy, clear. Most men are exhausted, not because they work too hard, but because they are divided inside. One part of them wants discipline. Another part wants comfort. One part wants growth. Another part wants escape. One part wants silence. Another part wants noise. This internal conflict drains more energy than any job ever could. You wake up tired because your mind never rests. You feel weak because your will is constantly arguing with itself. That is not life's fault. That is self-conflict. Before strength returns, this conflict must end. And it does not end by choosing comfort. It ends by choosing alignment. Number 1, inner conflict is the real source of exhaustion. When you fight yourself, everything feels heavy. Simple tasks feel hard. Small decisions feel overwhelming. Motivation disappears quickly. Why? Because energy is being wasted internally. Your mind says, train. Your comfort says, rest. Your discipline says, focus. Your habit says, scroll. Every decision becomes a battle. A man at war with himself cannot move forward. The moment alignment begins, energy returns. Number 2, fighting yourself creates confusion. Confusion is not lack of intelligence. It is lack of decision. When you fight yourself, you never fully commit. You start, then stop. You decide, then doubt. You act, then regret. This creates mental fog. Clarity does not come from thinking more. It comes from choosing one direction and staying with it. When the fight ends, clarity begins. Number 3, discipline ends the argument. Discipline is not punishment. It is resolution. When discipline is weak, the mind debates everything. When discipline is strong, decisions are already made. No argument, no delay, no internal drama. You wake up because that's the rule. You train because that's the standard. You work because that's the commitment. The fight ends when standards replace emotions. Number 4, you fight yourself when you lie to yourself. Most inner conflict comes from broken promises. You say you will change, then you don't. You say you will start tomorrow, then you delay. Each broken promise creates distrust inside. Your mind stops believing you, and when self-trust disappears, clarity disappears with it. Alignment begins when words and actions match again. Number 5, comfort keeps the war alive. Comfort feeds the weaker voice, the voice that wants ease, the voice that wants escape, the voice that wants relief without effort. Comfort makes that voice louder. Discipline quiets it. When comfort leads, the fight never ends. When discipline leads, the fight ends quickly. Number 6, you are not broken, you are divided. Most men think something is wrong with them. There is not. You are not broken. You are split. Split between discipline and desire. Split between action and avoidance. Wholeness returns when one side takes command. That side must be discipline. Number 7, stillness reveals the fight. Noise hides inner conflict. Constant input, endless distraction, non-stop stimulation. Silence exposes the truth. Restlessness, urgency, anxiety. That discomfort in silence is not weakness. It is unresolved conflict coming to the surface. Stay there. Clarity lives on the other side. Number 8. Fighting yourself makes you reactive. A divided man reacts to everything. Opinions shake him. Criticism angers him. Stress overwhelms him. Why? Because he has no internal agreement. When alignment exists, reactions slow down. Calm returns. Number 9. Control brings peace, not ease. Peace is not comfort. Peace is control. A controlled man can face pressure calmly. An uncontrolled man panics in comfort. When you stop fighting yourself, peace appears. Not because life gets easier, but because you stop resisting reality. Number 10, clarity comes from commitment, not thinking. Thinking does not resolve inner conflict. Commitment does. Pick a standard. Live by it daily. The mind stops fighting once it knows what is expected. Number 11. Fighting yourself weakens identity. Identity is built through consistency. When actions change daily, identity collapses. You don't know who you are, so you feel lost. Alignment rebuilds identity. I am the man who trains. I am the man who finishes. I am the man who stays silent. Clarity follows identity. Number 12. The body must be aligned with the mind. A weak body creates mental resistance. When the body avoids effort, the mind follows. Training reduces inner conflict. Pain simplifies choices. Move or stop. Movement builds alignment. Number 13. Discipline removes regret. Regret comes from self-betrayal. Knowing what you should do and not doing it. When discipline leads, regret disappears. Even failure feels clean, because you stayed aligned. Number 14. You fight yourself when you chase feelings. Feelings change. Standards remain. Living by feelings guarantees conflict. Living by standards guarantees clarity. Number 15. Alignment removes overthinking. Overthinking is inner disagreement. When the path is clear, thinking reduces. Action replaces analysis. Number 16. Fighting yourself creates emotional swings. High motivation, then collapse. Hope, then guilt. This is not emotional depth. It is lack of alignment. Stability comes from routine. Number 17. Clarity grows in repetition. 1 disciplined day feels hard. 30 disciplined days feel normal. 90 disciplined days feel clear. Repetition removes doubt. Number 18. Responsibility ends inner conflict. Responsibility forces decision. When weight is carried, hesitation disappears. Men without responsibility stay divided. Number 19. Silence strengthens alignment. Silence removes distraction. Distraction fuels conflict. Quiet strengthens agreement between mind and action. Number 20. Fighting yourself wastes years. Most men don't fail loudly. They stall quietly. Years pass in inner argument. Alignment stops the waste. Now listen carefully. Stopping the fight does not mean choosing comfort. It means choosing discipline fully. When you stop fighting yourself, you wake up on time. You train without debate. You work without delay. You rest without guilt. You speak less. You do more. Life becomes simple. Not easy. Simple. The noise fades. The confusion clears. The weight feels manageable. Because clarity was never missing. It was blocked by resistance. Stop fighting yourself. Choose one direction. Commit. Repeat. And everything becomes clear. That is the path. And this is the final shift. Because once the inner fight ends, something unexpected happens. Life does not suddenly become perfect, but it becomes honest. And honesty is clarity. When you stop fighting yourself, you stop pretending. You stop pretending you don't know what to do. You stop pretending you need more time. You stop pretending motivation is missing. You already know. The fight was never about knowledge. It was about resistance. Number 21. Alignment removes self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is not mysterious. It happens when one part of you wants growth and another part is afraid of losing comfort. So you delay. You distract. You quit quietly. When alignment is chosen, sabotage disappears. There is no second voice to negotiate with. Number 22. You stop fighting yourself when you accept who you are now. Not who you wish you were. Not who you plan to become. Who you are today. Your discipline level. Your weaknesses. Your habits. Acceptance removes shame. And shame is fuel for inner conflict. Once you accept the starting point, movement begins. Number 23. Clarity comes when excuses end. Excuses keep the fight alive. I'm different. My situation is unique. Now is not the right time. These thoughts protect comfort. A disciplined man drops excuses without emotion. No anger, no guilt, just correction. Number 24. Fighting yourself ends when routine replaces emotion. Emotion is unstable. Routine is stable. When you rely on routine, the mind relaxes. No daily decisions. No internal debate. You do what is scheduled. This is freedom. Number 25. You stop fighting yourself when you respect reality. Reality is demanding. Resisting it creates pain. Respecting it creates clarity. Sleep is required. Training is required. Effort is required. Once you stop arguing with these facts, peace appears. Number 26. Alignment makes effort feel lighter. Effort does not become easier. It becomes cleaner. No resentment. No inner drama. Just work. That is clarity. Number 27. You stop fighting yourself when ego steps aside. Ego wants comfort, praise, and validation. Discipline wants progress. When ego leads, conflict exists. When discipline leads, conflict ends. Ego resists routine. Discipline embraces it. Choose wisely. Number 28. Clarity reveals the next step, not the whole path. You don't need the full plan. You need the next action. Train today. Work today. Stay silent today. Tomorrow reveals itself after obedience. Men stay confused because they want certainty before action. Clarity comes after alignment. Number 29. Fighting yourself ends when you stop escaping discomfort. Discomfort is not a warning. It is a signal that alignment is forming. Stay there. Running brings the conflict back. Number 30. Alignment creates quiet confidence. Confidence built on words is fragile. Confidence built on discipline is stable. You don't need to prove anything. Your calm says enough. Now understand this clearly. Stopping the inner fight does not mean life becomes easy. It means life becomes direct. You know what to do. You do it. You move on. When you stop fighting yourself, you wake up without resistance. You train without excuses. You work without distraction. You rest without guilt. You speak less. You think less. You act more. Confusion disappears. Overthinking fades. Energy returns. Because the mind is no longer divided. It is aligned. And alignment is clarity. Not emotional clarity. Practical clarity. So remember this. You don't need a new life. You don't need a new mindset. You need to stop fighting yourself. Choose discipline. Commit fully. Repeat daily. And everything becomes clear. That is the way forward. And now comes the final consolidation. Because clarity does not come from adding more ideas. It comes from removing inner resistance. When the fight ends, you stop asking life to explain itself. You stop asking, why am I like this? Why is this hard? Why can't I decide? Those questions disappear when action becomes consistent. Number 31. Alignment removes the need for motivation. Motivation exists only when there is conflict. One part of you wants to act. Another part resists. Alignment removes resistance. And when resistance is gone, motivation is unnecessary. You move because it is time to move. That is clarity. Number 32. You stop fighting yourself when you accept discipline as care. Discipline is not cruelty. It is self-respect in action. Waking up on time is care. Training the body is care. Reducing noise is care. Finishing tasks is care. When discipline is seen as care, the inner war dissolves. Number 33. Fighting yourself ends when you stop chasing feelings. Feelings rise and fall. Standards remain. The moment you stop asking, how do I feel today? And start asking, what must be done today? Clarity appears. Number 34. Alignment turns chaos into order. Chaos exists when decisions are emotional. Order exists when decisions are pre-made. Wake time, training time, work time, silence time. Order frees the mind. A free mind is clear. Number 35. You stop fighting yourself when you trust discipline more than desire. Desire is loud. Discipline is quiet. Desire promises relief. Discipline delivers progress. Once trust shifts from desire to discipline, the argument ends. Number 36. Clarity grows when you stop explaining yourself. Explaining keeps you tied to doubt. A disciplined man does not justify his path. He walks it. Results speak. The less you explain, the clearer your direction becomes. Number 37. Alignment makes patience natural. When you are aligned, you stop rushing outcomes. You understand that growth is slow, and slow is fine. Patience is clarity over time. Number 38. Fighting yourself ends when standards replace mood. Mood changes daily. Standards do not. Standards stabilize identity. When identity is stable, confusion disappears. Number 39. Alignment removes internal noise. Noise comes from indecision. Once the decision is made, the noise fades. Do the work. Rest. Repeat. Simple. Number 40. Clarity is a result, not a goal. You do not chase clarity. You earn it. Through consistency. Through restraint. Through discipline. Now listen carefully. Stopping the inner fight does not require force. It requires finality. A final decision. I will live by discipline. I will not negotiate. I will not wait. When that decision is made, the mind relaxes, because it knows what is expected. Life becomes clear because you stop arguing with yourself. You wake up and act. You face discomfort without drama. You rest without guilt. You repeat without complaint. Clarity is not a feeling. It is a byproduct of alignment. So remember this: you were never confused. You were conflicted. And the moment conflict ends, clarity arrives. Quietly, naturally, permanently. Stop fighting yourself. Choose discipline, and everything becomes clear. And this is the final truth that remains when everything else falls away. Because once you stop fighting yourself, there is nothing left to fix. Only something left to maintain. Clarity is fragile when discipline is fragile. Clarity is stable when discipline is stable. That is the difference. Number 41. Alignment must be protected daily. The inner fight does not disappear forever by accident. It stays gone only through discipline. Distraction returns. Comfort whispers. Old habits wait. Alignment is maintained, not achieved. Every morning is a decision. Every evening is a test. Strong men protect alignment the way others protect comfort. Number 42. You stop fighting yourself when excuses lose credibility. Excuses sound convincing only when discipline is weak. Once discipline is strong, excuses feel embarrassing. I was tired. I didn't feel like it. I'll do it later. These words lose power when standards are enforced. That is clarity. Number 43. Alignment removes the need for external validation. When you are aligned, you do not need agreement. You do not need praise. You do not need reassurance. Your behavior confirms your direction. This independence quiets the mind. A quiet mind is a clear mind. Number 44. Fighting yourself ends when discipline becomes automatic. At first, discipline feels forced. Then it feels familiar. Eventually, it feels natural. When discipline becomes automatic, the inner fight cannot return. There is nothing to argue about. Number 45. Clarity comes from doing fewer things better. Overcommitment creates conflict. Too many goals. Too many directions. Too many priorities. Alignment simplifies. Train. Work. Recover. Repeat. Fewer actions. More commitment. This reduces mental noise. Number 46. You stop fighting yourself when you accept repetition. Repetition feels boring to the ego, but repetition is what builds certainty. Certainty removes doubt. Doubt fuels conflict. Accept repetition, and clarity deepens. Number 47. Alignment stabilizes emotion. Emotions still exist, but they no longer control action. You feel anger, but you stay silent. You feel fear, but you move forward. You feel tired, but you continue. Emotion becomes information, not authority. This is maturity. Number 48. Fighting yourself ends when you stop seeking shortcuts. Shortcuts exist only for the impatient. Alignment understands process. Slow progress. Consistent effort. No negotiation. Once shortcuts are abandoned, frustration disappears. Number 49. Clarity remains when identity is consistent. If you act like a disciplined man daily, you no longer question who you are. Identity removes confusion. I am the man who does what is required. That sentence ends the inner fight. Number 50. Peace is the result of obedience to your own standards. Peace is not comfort. Peace is obedience. When actions match standards, the mind rests. That rest is clarity. Now listen carefully to the final conclusion. Stopping the inner fight does not make you passive. It makes you decisive. It does not make life easy. It makes life direct. When you stop fighting yourself, you wake up without resistance. You train without debate. You work without delay. You rest without guilt. You speak less. You act more. Nothing magical happens. Something practical happens. Life becomes manageable because clarity was never missing. It was buried under hesitation. And hesitation dies when discipline takes command. So remember this and carry it forward. You do not need to fix yourself. You need to stop opposing yourself. Choose one direction. Commit without negotiation. Repeat daily. And clarity will stay. Quiet. Stable. Unbreakable. That is the way. And this is where everything finally settles. Because when the inner fight is gone, life stops feeling like something you must constantly manage. It becomes something you participate in calmly. At this stage, you no longer ask for meaning. Meaning appears naturally when effort, discipline, and direction align. Number 51. Alignment makes life feel honest. You stop pretending to yourself. You no longer say, I'll change someday. I know what to do, I just need time. I'll start when things calm down. You act honestly. Honest effort. Honest discipline. Honest limits. Honesty removes confusion. Number 52. You stop fighting yourself when expectations disappear. Expectations create frustration. I should be further by now. This should feel easier. I should feel confident. Alignment removes should. You deal with what is. Train today. Work today. Rest today. That is enough. Number 53. Clarity replaces urgency. Urgency is panic disguised as purpose. When aligned, urgency fades. You understand that progress is slow and that is not a problem. You move steadily. Steady men are not shaken easily. Number 54. Fighting yourself ends when you stop comparing paths. Comparison creates doubt. Alignment creates certainty. You stop asking if others are ahead. You stop measuring timelines. You focus on execution. Execution removes noise. Number 55. You no longer need constant reassurance. A disciplined man does not ask, am I doing this right? His behavior answers that question. Reassurance becomes unnecessary. This quiet confidence stabilizes the mind. Number 56. Alignment turns discipline into identity. At this point, discipline is no longer effort. It is habit. It is character. It is who you are. And identity does not argue with itself. Number 57. You stop fighting yourself when you accept your limits calmly. Limits exist. Energy limits. Time limits. Strength limits. Acceptance removes frustration. You work within reality instead of resisting it. That cooperation creates peace. Number 58. Clarity deepens when you reduce input. Less news. Less opinion. Less noise. Alignment prefers simplicity. A simple life is easier to direct. Number 59. You no longer seek escape. When aligned, there is nothing to escape from. Work is work. Pain is pain. Rest is rest. No drama. Escapism disappears because resistance disappears. Number 60. Life stops feeling personal. This is the final shift. Life no longer feels like it is attacking you. Problems are tasks. Pain is information. Failure is adjustment. This emotional neutrality is strength. Now understand this deeply. Stopping the inner fight does not make you perfect. It makes you stable. And stability is rare. Most men live in constant friction with themselves. You don't anymore, because you chose alignment over comfort. Discipline over negotiation. Action over hesitation. From here on, the path is simple. Not easy, but clear. Wake up, train, work, rest, repeat. No inner debate. No emotional bargaining. No confusion. Just direction. Once you stop fighting yourself, everything becomes clear because there is no longer anyone inside arguing against progress. Only one voice remains, and it knows exactly what to do. That is clarity.